Welcome to another broadcast of Cracking the Wealth Code. In the event that you're joining me for the first time, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm the author of several books, and I'm also involved in private equity investment. This program comes to you with the kind compliments of Pitch Deck 101 LLC, Global Capital Inc., and 10X B&M LLC out of New York. So if you're in business and you want to know faster ways to grow and scale your business, you want to know how to access capital at 0% APR, this is the platform for you. If you want to know how to build a strong brand that is going to help you to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, and move your clients into action, this is the program for you. Today, I want us to look at a pretty important topic, and that is the minimum viable offer. This topic is taken from our new book titled Mastering the Sales Communication Process. And I want to assure you that you really want to take the time out and strap yourself in to begin to have a clearer understanding of what is the minimum viable offer and what this can do to move your business forward. Now, let me give you a brief, insight into what this is. The minimum viable offer can help you to reduce the cost of doing business. It can help you accelerate the growth of your business, and it can really help you to cash flow maximize. So we will look at these concepts today and how the minimum viable offer can really set your business on a different plateau for growth, development, and expansion. Under today's topic, we will be looking at the benefits or a definition of the minimum viable offer. We will spend some time also looking at showing you how to apply the MVO. We'll be looking at benefits of knowing and applying the minimum viable offer. And last but not least, we will have a call to action and focus mainly on the MVO. And I want to say this to you, you don't want to miss out on the call to action, because the call to action is going to be full of fun, and it's going to really be helping you to understand how to take action now to move your business to a whole nother level of development. So I begin today's discussion. Just before I begin, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this podcast once you find the content interesting. I also want to encourage you to call a friend, tell a friend once you know they're in business and this information can benefit them, so they too can be sensitized to this content. So let's begin today's discussion by looking at the minimum viable offer, the MVO. What exactly is the definition of the MVO, the minimum viable offer? Now, I want to begin by saying that the MVO can represent a product, a service, or progressive ideas. And this is why we call it offer, because an offer fits into, allow all three of those categories to fit into the MVO. Going beyond this, the MVO is also the 1 in 10 factor of brand selection, the 1 in 10 factor of brand selection. And let me explain what I'm saying here. Very often we see many rising stars in business. You're so excited about the idea of getting into business. You're so excited about the possibility of cash flowing your operation. And of course, you're thinking multiple streams of income. So you have 3, 4, 5, or 10 different product ideas that you're introducing to the market at the same time. And that can pose a challenge. that can demand human resource, technical resources, capital resources to move that entire business ecosystem forward. And in most cases, as a rising star in business, you don't have access to the capital. You haven't yet built relationship with institutions that can give you access to debt, equity, credit, creative financing, and hard money lending. I'm happy to say that we can help you in those regards. So based on the fact that we are seeing that you have not yet built out your value proposition to that extent to take on the entire ecosystem, we introduced a concept that we call MVO, the 1 in 10 factor of brand selection. Now, what exactly am I saying here? I want you to see yourself, one, as a private equity investor or as a business consultant. Now, as a private equity investor, instead of specialization, being a boutique investor, you are a generalist, which we call a global intermediary. That means that you're providing multiple financial instruments. You're involved in many different investment portfolios as a rising star in business. So even in this space, let us suppose that you're in this space, we are recommending that you focus on the one, which is the MVO. Instead of focusing on 5 or 6 or 7, 10 different things, you focus on the MVO, your minimum viable offer. And the MVO is your go-to-market strategy. And there are many benefits in doing this. And as we go deeper into this program, I will explain all of that to you. So instead of going with 10 things, you really want to identify the value proposition, the one that you can go to market with. So as a private equity investor, global intermediary, you reduce that focus at the start of the business to operate more like a boutique investor. You're focusing on a narrow approach to market entry. There are tremendous benefits in using this approach. And you will learn some of those benefits as we go deeper into today's program. On the flip side of this, you might perhaps own a salon and has a cosmetologist. Again, you're excited about the idea of starting your business and making impact on your community. So as a cosmetologist, you are focusing on manicure, pedicure, facial, body massage, mod spa. You focus on this entire ecosystem as a rising star in business. But to focus again on this entire ecosystem, it requires human resources, technical resources, and capital resources. And with the limited finance that is available to you, if it is spread thin across this entire ecosystem, you run out of capital. And when you run out of capital, you run out of the ability to pay the human resources. And when you don't have the adequate human resources to support in the sustenance of your business, the business dies a slow death. So as a cosmetologist, instead of focusing on these 5 different things, you perhaps can make a decision that you want to select your MVO, one product, one service. And in focusing on that one service is where you want to put all your time, your energy, and your resources, human and capital resources into that. You're going to get more leverage with that. So this is a simple definition of the MVO. Now, what I want to do, I want to go a little deeper by giving you some ideas as to how to apply this process. Now, how does one arrive at that point of predetermining your minimum viable offer? How does one arrive at that point to predetermine what is your MVO, your minimum viable offer? It doesn't happen automatically. It doesn't happen by accident. You have to be intentional and deliberate in this process. And to be deliberate and intentional in this process, it means that you have to be research oriented. It is the market research that will really help you to gather the information that you need to ensure that your value offer is first of all aligned to the interest of your MVTM, meaning the minimum viable target market or the most viable target market. You just don't arrive at your MVO, your minimum value offer. It has to be aligned, and the only way it's aligned to your specific target market, to the ideal client, is when you take the time to ensure that you have the information to inform that business decision. So as you take steps to identify your MVO, you want to be research oriented. It's either you ensure that you go to the ground and get the information, or you hire a sales communication professional that can help you to get the information that you need in that process. It's very, very important. All right. It can reduce time, cost, stress, and when you apply this approach. So you want to be able to use market research, and you want to ensure that the MVO is aligned to the MVTM. The minimum viable offer is aligned to your minimum viable target market or the most viable target market, depending on who you're targeting with your products and services. You want to go a little deeper than this as you apply this concept. As you apply the MVO, you also want to be certain that the market that you're targeting is viable. And how do you put yourself in that position of strength to predetermine the viability of the market? Again, you have to do market research. You need to be able to deduct information like the size of the market, the density of the market, the dispersion of the market, because it is only by market size that you are now able to predetermine the potential of the market to cash flow. And it is this ability to predetermine the potential of the market to cash flow that will really help you to understand the viability of the market. This is absolutely necessary. All right, as you develop your MVO and you introduce your MVO to the MVTM, your ideal client, you want to know that the market is viable. Just don't start a business. We have a lot of rising stars in business. You act on assumption, you act on speculation. In this context, you are driven by data. You're able to collect sensitive data, you're able to analyze sensitive data, and you're able to apply the sensitive data in a market sensitive way that is helping you to make the best business decision possible to bring you at the shortest possible time to a point where you can optimally cash flow your business. So you want to know the viability of the market before you develop or introduce your MVO, and it requires research. Let's go a step further. You also need to ensure that your market is accessible. Accessibility is important because what if you are able to identify that, yes, your MVO is properly aligned to the MVTM, your ideal client, but then you recognize that your ideal client is not local, your ideal client is not regional, your ideal client is international. So the ability to access them with products becomes a little bit more tougher. But you don't know that because you are not market sensitive. You're not market oriented. You're not collecting sensitive data. You're not analyzing sensitive data. And you're not applying sensitive data to the business decision-making process. So you leave the room open for Pandora box to run wild. And Pandora will play. So you need critical information to help you make better business decisions. So along with the fact that you are doing all of this, you also want to be certain that you're able to identify the ability of the ideal client, the MVTM, to pay for your products. And this is a lot of mistake that we find a lot of rising stars in business make. You have the assumption that your products and services is for everyone. It's absolutely not true. You may be able to identify a client that has a need. You may be able to identify how to access that client. You may be able to position your products in front of that client only to recognize that the client do not have disposable income to invest in your MVO, your products and service, your value proposition. They just don't have the money. So you waste time, talent, effort, capital resources, you optimize your stress level, you become frustrated, and you walk away from business because you don't have the right information. So it is necessary to ensure that you're taking the time to really understand this entire process and how it works. Again, this information that we are giving to you is taken from one of our new books, which is called Master the Sales Communication Process. And you want to know how to master the sales communication process, because when you take sales out of the equation of doing business, by default, the business will fail. And these techniques, if you don't really understand them, you're also leaving yourself vulnerable and open for failure. Our vision here with this program, Cracking the Wealth Code, is to provide you with critical information that will help you to make better business decisions, that will help to fast track your growth in business, that will help you to be smarter, clever, more savvy in moving your business process forward. Again, if you find this content interesting, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share, and press the bell so you will be the first to know when we're bringing out these contents on a weekly, on a regular basis. Now, let us look at some of the benefits of applying the minimum viable offer, the MVO. I trust by now you have a very clear understanding as to what the MVO represents. But what are some of the benefits of using the MVO? You see, if you are an entrepreneur and you're introducing 10 products to the market at the same time, a lot of things is going to happen that you really don't want to happen. For example, to introduce 10 products is going to cost you more capital, more human resources, more time to achieve this objective. But in implementing the MVO, it reduces the cost for capital, it reduces the cost for labor, and it enhances the speed in which you can enter into the market, because the focus now is on one product. Let's think about it. If you're going to market with 10 different products that represents your business value proposition, it means that you have to now talk with your graphic designers, and instead of doing one ad for your MVO, you have to do perhaps 10 different ads for radio, television, newspaper, mass media, social media, metaverse, independent communication channel. And all of this represent cost. So instead of having one cost for your MVO, your go-to-market value proposition, you now have to think about incurring costs for the 10. So in focusing on the MVO, a single product, it enables you to concentrate the highest degree of focus on that product, on that service, on that intellectual idea, on that progressive idea. And because you're able to focus with clinical precision, you're now able to achieve speed in the execution process. So the ability to apply the MVO, this technique, it will enable you to achieve greater speed to market entry. And Achieving greater speed to market entry means a whole lot because you can cash flow faster. When you apply the MVO, this method that we're now introducing to you, it also enhances accuracy in demographic targeting. Again, because you're focusing on a single brand, you're now able to take the time to identify your target market based on demographics, psychographics, and geographic. You're able to focus your time, talent, and resources, your energy, into collecting the right data, analyzing the right data, and using the data in the right way that gives you greater degree of accuracy in innovating products and services that you can now position in front of the ideal client, your MVTM. And having this degree of accuracy also significantly optimizes the possibility of cash flow maximization, because when you understand people, your consumers, your client, based on the absolute buyer data marker, you're in a much better position of strength to cash flow your business. And that's the objective of these programs, to provide you with that content of information for you to make better business decisions. But when you apply the MVO, this approach, you have other benefits. It also reduces the need for human resources, reduces the need for technical resources, because human resource is not spread across the 10 areas of your business focus. They're focusing on one. Technical resources is not needed to spread across the entire business ecosystem. You can focus on one. So the cost for human resource has come down. The cost for technical resources has come down, and you have greater efficiency. This also reduces the cost for capital, because there is a major difference if you have 10 products, 10 services, 10 great progressive ideas, and you have human resource, technical resources, and you need capital resources to move that process forward. There's going to be more. There's a major difference than needing capital to move one project forward, as again needing capital and human resources to move 10 projects forward. So the MVO approach reduces the cost for capital, reduces the cost for technical skills, reduces the cost for capital, the need for capital, reduces all of this. And again, because the fact that you're focusing on a single product, a single service, a single progressive idea, you're able now to optimize the potential of that value offer to cash flow much faster and much more. Because of this, you now, in a shorter period of time, have excess liquidity in your hands. Now, the excess liquidity can now be leveraged back into the business to bring out a second MVO, a third MVO, a fourth MVO, and set the stage for the business to significantly now increase its cash flow potential, because you're now setting the system up now for multiple streams of income. And guess what? If you do this and do this right, as a rising star in business, you don't have the monthly debt obligation of debt. Because if you take debt to move the business forward, you're saddled with monthly debt cost for a long period of time. Because you're using the positive income coming into the operation to leverage it back into the business, you don't have to also give away equity in your business. You don't have to give away shares. You don't have to profit share. Because of using this approach, you don't have to leverage credit. So all the money is coming into the business, you're flipping it back into the business to grow and expand your idea. reducing costs at the same time. So the excess liquidity, the excess income, the excess profits or the profit, instead of going to pay interest or going to pay dividends or going back to pay credit cost, it is now going back into bringing out your next best product, your next best service. So there are tremendous benefits in using the MVO, minimum viable offer, as a gateway to make market entry. So it's a powerful tool that will literally transform the landscape of how rising stars do business. And you need to have this content of information. And I'm happy to say to you again, we at Pitch Deck 101 LLC, we have developed this new book that we call Master the Sales Communication Process. And if you think this is a lot of information, it's not. The book perhaps has about 450 pages. And I want to ensure that every chapter is tremendously overflowing with information to move you forward, to accelerate your growth. All right, a lot of information. So I trust that you enjoy the information that you have so far. I want to talk now about, I want to bring it to the conclusion, and I want to talk about some call to action. But just before I get there, I want to say to you that if you find this content interesting, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. I want you to invite someone who you think can benefit from this program to listen in. Share it with them. All right? And those who are listening, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen. So let's get to the conclusion and the call to action of this program. The ability to apply the minimum viable offer is a no-brainer. As a rising star in business, and even those who are big in business and you want to do market testing, this is a very unique approach to deploy into your business process. We have a very unique offer that we want to give today. Now you can call the numbers that is shown on your screen. You can go to our website, which is pitchdeck101.org. You can use the numbers there. You can call us. I know these type of programs are very expensive, but we want to remove the expense from your possibilities of accessing critical information to move your business forward. So what we're going to do for a limited time only, we're going to give you an opportunity to join our masterclass. We are going to be starting very soon a masterclass that focuses primarily on how to master the sales communication process. And in this book, you're going to learn so much beyond just the minimum viable offer. You will learn how to position yourself to become an influencer. You will learn how to apply the pull factors of sales communication. You will learn gaps in the push factors of sales communication, how to fill those gaps to optimize your sales outcome. There's so much for you to learn. So I want to encourage you to sign up for this program. Guess what else? It's free. Give us a call or send us an email. Go to the website. You can go to contact us. Send us an email saying that you have an interest in this business. Now, you must have a business. The pre-qualification is that you must have a business. You're just starting the business, you're into business, you want to grow and expand your business, you intend to start a business, and you can get a free access to this program. All right, free access. This is for a limited period only, so you need to act now. It's free. All right. I also want you to register. Once you're in business and you want to go on a fast track, I want to encourage you to register your business. In this case, what we will do, we will come to your company. We will do a proper assessment of your company. and we'll make some recommendations to really help your companies to be able to apply the embryo, to apply the sales communication process to optimize your business potential to cash flow. All right, so I need you to act now. It's free for a limited period only. Again, this program comes to you or came to you with the kind compliments of Pitch Deck 101 LLC. Now, the focus of Pitch Deck 101 LLC is to really help businesses to access capital, meaning debt, equity, credit, creative finance, and hard money lending. We are also here to help you to understand how to not only understand those financial instruments, but to access those financial instruments, leverage debt the smart way, and to also mitigate debt. You see, in debt mitigation, you're able to reduce the cost of capital significantly. That means that you will have excess cash flow in the business that you can now put back into bringing out a new value offer. So these companies are very, very unique and specialized in these critical areas to help you to move your business forward. And of course, if you want to also learn about branding, we have 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York. And every brand, every business, every brand should have 4 points, strategic points of making impact. In those programs that you will learn all of this and how to apply and master this to take your business to another level. So with that being said, I want to stop today, and I want to thank all of you who's going to be looking at this program, listening to this program in the replay. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time out to listen to this program. And do help me share this program out, push it out so the algorithm can become, it can help the algorithm of this platform. All right, so be blessed and see you in the next broadcast.